Hello again, everyone. We're going to speak on the topic taxonomy. When we say taxonomy, it is the science that provides species with names, but it's more than that. So, let's further explain or discuss about what is taxonomy really means. Taxonomy. When we say taxonomy, it is a foundation for an enormous range of human activities, both scientific and social. The whole of biology, as well as agriculture, conservation, biosecurity, and countless other fields depend on taxonomy. Another is taxonomy. It is the branch of biology that classifies all living things, and it was developed by the Swedish botanist named Carolus Linus, who lived during the 18th century, and this system of classification is still used today. And here are the taxonomic hierarchy. First is the life, second domain, third is the kingdom, fourth one is phylum, next is class, next is the order, next family, genus, and species. So let's first tackle about the 6 kingdoms of life. But before that, when we say kingdom, before the domains were introduced, kingdom was the highest taxonomic rank. In the past, the different kingdoms were Animalia, Plantae, Fungi, Protista, Archaea, and Bacteria. Archaea and Bacteria were sometimes grouped into one kingdom called Monera. So, this is now the 6 kingdoms of life. First is the Archaea bacteria. Here is the picture of Archaea bacteria. When we say Archaea bacteria, it is single-celled prokaryotes originally thought to be bacteria. They are in the Archaea domain and have a unique ribosomal RNA type. The second is the eubacteria. Here is the picture of eubacteria. These organisms are considered to be true bacteria and are classified under the bacteria domain. Bacteria live in almost every type of environment and are often associated with disease. Most bacteria, however, do not cause disease. Diba may ada good bacteria and bad bacteria. So, the third one is the Protista. The Protista kingdom includes a very diverse group of organisms. Some have characteristics of animals like protozoa, while others resemble plants like algae or fungi or slime molds. So speaking of fungi, another classification or kingdoms of life is the fungi. It includes both unicellular, the yeast in molds, and multicellular, like here, the mushrooms, organisms. Unlike plants, fungi are not capable of photosynthesis. Fungi are important for the recycling of nutrients back into the environment. They decompose organic matter and acquire nutrients through absorption. Another is the plantae, the fifth on the six kingdoms of life. Plants are extremely important to all life on Earth as they provide oxygen, shelter, clothing, food, and medicine for other living organisms. The sixth one, the last of the kingdoms of life, which is Animalia, from the word animal. So this kingdom includes animal organisms. These multicellular eukaryotes depend on plants and other organisms for nutrition. Most animals live in aquatic environment and range in size from tiny tardigrades to the extremely large blue. So let's move on to domain. In biology, a domain refers to the largest of all groups in the classification of life. There are currently three agreed groups at this level, which is the Archaea domain, the Bacteria domain, and Eukarya domain. Each domain contains a collection of organisms with similar properties and evolutionary histories. And domain in the tree of life, there are three. And a domain is then further broken up into kingdoms. So in the domain Eukarya, for instance, there are four kingdoms like what I have said earlier, the Animalia, Plantae, Fungi, and Protista. Each of these kingdoms is then broken down into smaller groups, all the way down to individual species. So the first of the three domains, which is the Archaea, a domain of bacteria-like organisms, but they have a distinct biochemistry, which distinguishes them from bacteria. Another is the bacteria itself. Organisms in the domain bacteria are also prokaryotes, having no distinguished organelles or membrane-bound nucleus. The domain bacteria is also possibly the largest domain, containing possibly millions of unknown and unrecorded specimens. These small, single-celled organisms live almost everywhere and are the size of most eukaryotic organelles. And the third one is the Eukarya. The domain Eukarya represents, well, everything else. The organisms in this domain are eukaryotic, meaning they have a membrane-bound nucleus and organelles. So let's move on to phylum. It is a taxonomic ranking that comes third in the hierarchy of classification, after domain and kingdom. Organisms in a phylum share a set of characteristics that distinguishes them from organisms in another phylum. The qualities that group animals into a phylum have changed throughout scientific history as better methods have arisen to determine how groups of animals are related. So, another on the taxonomic hierarchy, which is the class. When I say class, it was the most general rank proposed by Carolus. Phyla were not introduced until the 19th century. There are 108 different classes in the kingdom. Animalia, including mammalia or mammals, aves or birds, and reptilia or reptiles, among many others. The classes of Animalia that Carolus proposed are similar to the ones used today, but Carolus' classes of plants were based on attributes like the arrangement of flowers rather than relatedness. So let's go to the another classification, which is the order, and it is more specific than class. Some of Carolus' orders are still used today, such as Lepidoptera or the order of butterflies and moths. There are between 19 to 26 orders of mammalia, depending on how organisms are classified or sources differ. Some orders of mammalia are primates, cetaceans like whales, dolphins, and carnivora like large carnivores or omnivores, and Chiroptera or the bats. And here the family. It is in turn more specific. Some families in the order Carnivora, for example, are Canidae, are the dogs, wolves, and foxes. Felidae, the cats. Meptidae, the skunks. And Orcidae, which is the bears. There are 12 total families in the order Carnivora. Another is the genus, in plural form, which is genera. It is even more specific than the family. It is the first part of an organism's scientific name using binomial nomenclature. The second part is the species name. An organism's scientific name is always italicized, and the genus name is capitalized, while the species name is not. Genus and species are the only taxonomic ranks that are italicized. For example, the scientific name for human is Homo sapiens. Homo is the genus name, while sapiens is the species name. All other species in the genus Homo are extinct. Some were ancestral to humans, such as Homo erectus. Others lived at the same time, were closely related and interbred with Homo sapiens. And another is the species. Species is the most specific major taxonomic rank. Species are sometimes divided into subspecies, but not all species have multiple forms that are different enough to be called subspecies. For example, Ursus americanus is the American black bear, while Bufo americanus is the American toad. The species name is always italicized but never capitalized. In scientific articles, where the species name is used many times, it is abbreviated after the first full use by using just the first letter of the genus name along with the full species name. Homo sapiens is abbreviated to H. sapiens. So that's all for the taxonomic hierarchy, which start from the domain to kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, next is genus, and then species. So here are the example of taxonomy. So the domain called the Eukaryota, and the kingdom is the Animalia, phylum the Chordata, class Mammalia, order Primates, family Hominidae, then the genus is Homo, then the species is Sapiens. This is the scientific classification of humans. Another example of taxonomy is the classification of the red fox. Sometimes the genus and the species names are the same, even though these are two different ranks. So that's all for today's discussion about the taxonomy. So thank you for listening and at the same time for watching. Again, I am Jonalyn Felizario from BSN 1B. Thank you.